And she taught my sister and I to also try to have that quality where we don't have to be aggressive and you can still be extremely powerful and make a difference by just being who you are and exuding who you are and having a character that is good and it will speak for itself. So my mom. And also I have an aunt. She was a spiritual guidance for me for many, many years. She's passed on. And she was very, very instrumental in helping me understand and get more into faith and what God is and what God is personally in my life, and that there's a purpose or a ministry to everything that we do when we're helping others. That's a ministry, and it's what you're called to be on this earth to do. So she was, she's the second woman that I would say is most influential in my life, and that's Sister Ann.
Okay.
Well, I had my father. He passed on. And when people do things to you or say things to you, tell me, give him a piece of bread. And I said, Daddy, what is a piece of bread? He said, that's what you do, sister. Don't ever fight fire with fire. He said, you're supposed to stand strong. And he said, and these people going to come back and apologize to you and be there for you. Give him a piece of bread. And I said, Lord, a piece of bread, Daddy, what is that? But he was really, really good to all of us and taught us a lot. With 10 children, you know. Yes.
And, well, he asked all of us, so I'm going to go ahead and say what too. My mother, Shirley Genevieve Broussard, and my grandmother, which was Anna Boudreaux, and they just instilled so much in me. I know my grandmother would, they used to clown us a lot when we were kids, and they used to call us like, you know, the little N-word and all this other kind of stuff, but they used to clown our nose a whole lot. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And your nose are good.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah, they used to clown the nose. And so my grandmother was the first one that taught me how to fight, how to physically fight. And she would tell myself and my other two siblings, while my mother wound up being married to the devil number 2, she would tell my siblings, she said, oh, but y'all come here, y'all, some little beautiful angels. And she would kiss us like, oh no, and we just hated that, but then that was her way of showing us affection and stuff like that. And that's one thing that we try to give out to the community, that you can be forceful, you can be nice and be forceful and stuff like that. And some of us are still working on that present, on that avenue and everything like that. But other than that, you know, you're here, you're contributing to your community, you're respected. I mean, what more could we actually ask for?
That's true.
And so, Ms. Ruby, you now that you're you have retired, or have you retired?
I have not retired. I'm still going strong. And I'm 78.
Oh, you look good.
And I'm still going. I can't stop. Some mornings I say, oh, God, I got to get up. So I get up and go and have coffee and breakfast in the morning, and I come back at that little shop and do what I have to do. But my daughters want me to retire, but I can't do it.
You can't do it.
I can't imagine ever retiring. There's always going to be a student or someone somewhere that needs help with education, and I'm going to be all over it. So
that's it.
It doesn't matter what age I am. I can't see myself ever not helping other people get information.
Oh, well,
that's the same way I feel.
I look forward to retiring so quick till it's unreal, so that I can really do what I love to do, you know, be out in the community doing this and everything. We have written down that we want this show to air multiple times, and we're going to go ahead and do like a series of shows highlighting our phenomenal women, and then once a month, and then after that, you know, we have been discussing maybe putting out like a little I don't know if should I say red carpet, black carpet, but a little nice little function and give everybody their flowers today while they're here and everything like that. And so, and let the world know. You know, I asked Brother James, Brother Shahi, can y'all put this on YouTube? Can y'all send it to CNN, Essence or Ebony? Just send it somewhere, you know. They need to know about us too. And what, Dr. Damon, what do you feel about marriage with chores? Do you think that it's possible that we could be married and try to cook every day? It seemed like to me like the good Lord say cook Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? And the other couple of days have leftovers or taking it out. I mean, I just find that.
Yeah, well, you know, that depends on the relationship. But for my relationship, I am Dr. Damon everywhere I go. But
Okay.
when I cross that door at home, I'm Mrs. Damon. So, you know, the roles definitely changed. But my husband can cook much better than I can, so I'm lucky.
Need I say
I'm
anymore?
lucky.
Well, we the same sure I don't cook.
Yeah, he cooks much better than I do.
My husband got the food waiting for me. He said, honey, you're not eating. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
well,
it's having to work out.
I'm telling you,
He cook, the kitchen is his.
What? Yes, indeed. Give him the kitchen. That's the idea. And what's so good about it is that the mutual respect that y'all have for each other. You know, he's the head of the household. What he says is final, unless there is another part that he probably didn't see. But I love leftovers and
Oh, we do too.
okay. And I just feel that I say, well, okay, God sent me here, but he didn't say nothing about cooking.
That's right.
Nothing about cooking. I'm telling you, not one thing about cooking. Hello, caller. You have a question or a comment for our phenomenal women?
Good afternoon, Sister Khadija. This is Brother Jay here. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you guys or being part of the production team, but I want to say good evening to the strong sisters and strong mothers and strong wives over here in the concept, sister, that you have. I think that's an excellent concept. Being a community producer on radio and TV, I think highlighting once a month or maybe more than that, highlighting the works and the compliment, and even just acknowledging some of the strong sisters will go a long way in helping improving the conditions in our community. I think that's a positive move on your part. And also, sisters, even mentioning people in your lives, a significant mother or a significant loved one in your life, especially from the female perspective, that would be a great thing. I also want to say that the good doctor there who we had on the open line for the forming of the school, I really appreciate her work that she's been doing. And look, stay strong and keep on keeping on, because, you know, when we took that undertaking to have you guys on our platform, we knew you guys have the best intention of the community. And I want to say to Ms. Ruby, it's good to seeing an elder on television being highlighted. Because I have a mother, 91 years old. She's watching right now. I know I really appreciate having those types of shows that Sister Khadija brings forward. And again, one thing I'm agree with, I'm in closing, I'm saying a lot. I do agree with the doctor. I am a better cook. I know.
That's great.
With the loved one, and she's watching, and the other woman, I know she's saying, really? Really? Khadija started that. Thank you so much, Khadija. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the shows that you'll be doing. Thank you so much.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to having you as a director also. You know, I can't be trying to twist arms on our significant other to come out and direct. But in today's society, as an elder, when we're on the radio, myself, Ma Buck, and everything, we try to give like firsthand information on things that we think that you should do and things that you shouldn't do. And a lot of times it may be a little bit too harsh at that time, but at the same time, you know, we're not giving it for any other reason but to show you love and respect that we have for you. When we talk about, you know, young ladies, y'all need to learn how to cook, you know, because eventually you're not going to be able to keep your husband or your boyfriend without some type of learning how to cook somehow. And fortunately, we've been dealt with our husbands that do know how to cook and don't mind doing it. But at the same time,
We can still do it. We know how we have.
yeah, yes, you're right.
Yes.
At the same time, what type of information would you give to a young mother that is struggling and want to go further with her education? Before you do that, let me get the phone, please. Caller, you have a question or a comment for our phenomenal women?
Question.
You're on.
Evening, Sister Khadijah?
Yeah,
Yes, Archbishop John Milton.
Oh, how you doing, Archbishop?
Well, hi,
Very
John.
good. Enjoying the
Hi,
program.
John.
I get some feedback from you and your guests. You know, it's Women's History Month, and we know the checkered history of the treatment of women over the centuries and over the annals of history.
With her dad.
You know, in our church, we come to recognize in the African American Catholic congregation that God is neither male nor female, but yet we project God out as a male. And so in our church, when we make the sign of the cross, we say, Mother, Father, God. And yet I find that maybe more women reject that notion of inclusion in the divineness of humanity than men do. And so I wanted to know if you and your guests had any comment about the way that women see themselves from the divine vantage point in terms of God's purpose in their lives as maybe in comparison to men. So thank you very much. If there are any comments, I appreciate it. I'll continue listening and enjoying this beautiful show.
Yes, and give your beautiful wife, Titiani, our hellos.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
You'd like me to go first?
Yes.
Well, you know, I come from a ministry where women are very, very powerful beings in the church. And we also believe that God will use who he chooses, and it depends on the purpose. And I think that traditionally, it has been more of a male-dominated role, but I think that women have made great strides in that area. There's a long way to go. But again, it's not up to us to decide if a person, depending on their gender, if God can use them or not use them. I can't see where that would, that doesn't sound like, because he'll use whoever he wants or whatever he wants to. He used the donkey somewhere in the Bible. So, you know, God will use whoever he wants to get his purposes to make sure that those are fulfilled. And so as women, you know, you look at all the strong women in the Bible, you know, most of the revivals and anything that was major change, a woman was she might have been behind the scenes, but she sparked the flame. So we got to give that credit where that credit is due. So, yeah.
Ms. Ruby?
Well, I agree with Ms. Williams, Dr. Williams, with all of what she said, you know, but sometimes women's are a little stronger than the guys.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
a lot of times.
that's all I have to say.
Well, yeah, and for me, I definitely love seeing women in that role, because like I had to get out of the mindset with coming from the Catholic religion that not only everything was male dominated, but it was all white male that was dominated. And so I just had a complete problem with that, you know, and trying to find my way, you know, and Allah, God finally came to me, but came to me not, when I say not, I'm trying to use the right word, not no punk or, you know, he was like a revolutionary warrior, somebody that I needed to hear certain things that I know I was going through, or that I know my society was going through. I need to be able to hear those things and knowing that, oh, but they better thank God for God. Oh, but they better thank God for God, because that just kept me humble, you know, and seeing sisters preach, that keeps you humble, but it keeps you fed, because we coming from that same internal fire that we were built with, that we were born with, you know. And so, Archbishop John, I hope that we answered your question, and we're so glad that you had the opportunity to check us out and everything. And so, we just, like we're saying, you want the community to know that we have to spotlight our own heroes, sheroes. We have to spotlight them our own self. We don't need nobody else to tell us, well, you know, this should be a hero or a shero. We need to tell them who we know. Carly, you have a question or comment from our phenomenal women guests?
I just have a comment.
You're on.
I just want to say that whenever I get the opportunity to hear women, especially strong black women, express themselves, it always reminds me of the need for me to continue to celebrate their lives. I want to say thank you, sisters, for everything that you have done and everything that you will continue to do. And I want to thank God that God has made you the second half of himself, because without you all, then there will never be any hope. So I want to continue to celebrate your lives, and the many other black, strong sisters and women that are out there today, that whenever y'all express yourselves, it's always the words of inspiration, and it inspires me to continue doing what I'm doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm just so elated. We've had nothing but positive callers, because sometimes somebody's always going to call in who's had a little bit too much, you know, and it just takes you out of your zone, you know, it just takes you out of your essence. And so when it comes down to the woke organization, or being woke, or when it comes down to critical race theory, that's in all of the national media today, I think that it is so important that young people can come to us and say, what do you think about this? What do you say about this? My granddaughter was watching a segment, and the segment was dealing with, part slavery and part everything, and she's just crying. Why are they doing that? Well, you know, this is history. This is something that you need to learn about. This actually happened. And, you know, I did not want to feed it to her at just the tender age of 8, but sometimes you have no choice. So how do you feel? Is it imperative that we tell the truth, the whole truth, or should we try to use some icing on it to make it look better?
That's right.
You mark me with that one.
Well, what I done when I was younger, I did a video, and we went all through the fields. We dug the potatoes, picked cotton. We did everything, and I dressed like I used to dress in the fields, and it was very emotional when I went in there, that I had to sit and cry a while, because we work hard, you know, and I thank God for being still here with all the trauma we went through, you know. And my dad said, well, Ruby, you know, we got to have a place to stay. I said, well, Daddy, I said, we working hard, and these people are home doing nothing, and they get all the money, just about. We just get, 25%? So the kids need to know that. They really need to know how we work hard, you know. I have like a 2-hour video of what I've done.
That's awesome. You should share that.
Right, I was about to ask you, is it possible that we could
have it? Yeah, I can give you have a copy made. It is very emotionally.
Yes.
Yes. I see the same thing that I see in my dad's face because he's brought my sister and I back to where he used to work in the fields in Mississippi.
Oh,
and
you
actually,
did, Mississippi.
his grandfather sold 100 acres of land for 25 cents an acre.
I believe you.
And so my dad was able to go back later and buy half of it back. But for him, he just cried because it just meant, it meant something to him because of his childhood, and part of him had been given away.
That's right.
And how hard they worked. And it was just symbolic of something, you know, from his past. But he's always brought us back to see where he was from, to look at the one-room shack, which is still there with no bathroom. It's an outhouse. And help us to remember that. So that being said, if students or children don't know where they came from, they do not know where they're going. They have no idea.
My daughter cried when she saw the video.
Right, because they don't know who they are.
No,
they don't have a true
don't.
sense of who they are, where they come from, what their ancestors have gone through for them to actually be where they are today. And with knowing that, it gives a certain appreciation that a lot of our children don't have because they don't know where they came from. So it's very, very important. As far as the critical race theory issue, I deal with that all the time in higher education.
I bet.
And my comment to that is that if they get rid of critical race theory, then I have about 100 other theories they need to get rid of. Okay, for it to become a theory, it took years, and it was a conceptual framework. A lot of research was done, and then it was and it is a valid theory that should and could be used in many instances. Now. You can't just slap it on everything. It's kind of more of a legalistic theory than what people try to make it. But it is a very valid and usable theory.
Yes.
And when students want to do it for me, if they can show me where it applies, absolutely. I'm going to allow you to use that theory in your research. So
But
that's my take on it.
One day I bought, and without cutting you off, I bought some property in Churchmont. And the guy asked me, well, we had opened a little bakery, and we was renting. So he said, Ruby, you want to buy it? I said, buy it? I said, yeah. It was on Main Street. It was the oldest city cafe in Churchmont. And I bought it. And he asked me, how much you want to pay me? I say, well, I don't know, sir. I don't know. But, you know, I've been buying property, but I didn't want to put myself out there until he make an offer. And he said, how about $16,000? It starts from the front, Main Street, and went all the way to the next street, to the back. And I said, well, I have to talk to my husband. I called my attorney, and we set the papers together, and we bought it.
Okay.
You know, he said, your father worked, and y'all work a lot for us in the field. He said, you know what I'm doing? I'm giving it back to you. And when he did that, I cried so much at that table,
Yeah,
Yes,
family worked for that.
Yeah, that's what he told me. He said, well, y'all worked for that.
And I remember my grandfather who worked for the Coca-Cola plant, and at the time when they had like real bottles, you know, real
the
bottles.
Glass,
Yes, and somehow on that belt where the soda used to go to, where the bottle used to go to, something, an explosion happened or something, and he was blind from that.
Wow.
And he wound up not being compensated, not being nothing. And so we always had known him as being blind, but how did poor Papa get blind? Well, he was working at the Coca-Cola place, and never got compensated. So it's like, then when you talk about the critical race theory, it's like, okay, they are trying to say that they don't want little Sally or little Dick to feel real bad about themselves when they hear the truth that their great grandparents had done to blacks or people of color. They don't want them to know the truth. But how else do you excel if you don't excel with the truth?
And how do we not repeat history unless they know what theirs is? They need to know their history also. You know, knowledge is power. And trying to deny it from any child or any student that's a disservice. You know, no matter whether it's a negative or positive, you know, because we have things in our history that we're not so proud of. However, it is who we are, and we try to do better.
Yes.
And so we would hope that that would happen. You know, we've had to hear that history forever, their history. It has always been there. So we should have that same opportunity for our story to be told.
Yes,
That's right.
Yes. And you're having a discussion with the phenomenal women in our communities with Miss Ruby and Dr. Williams Damon right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. If you're interested or you know of a phenomenal woman, and I don't know, well, we have phenomenal men too, you know, so I don't know, we don't want to exclude the men, because I mean, some people was telling me about, before, these were the first two electrician that was in Lafayette that done this. So it's like it's a progress. It's like a work in progress.
It's a big project.
Yes, indeed. And so let me ask you this: do you have like online classes? How do, like, if people just wanted to learn about the about African studies, or is there an online classes? Is there some type of fee, or you have to be under some type of curriculum?
Well, what my sister and I, Tiffany, worked on, this is to be in high schools. So a lot of high schools did not even offer it. Now they do offer it because it is considered a credit. And for a long time, we were one of the only schools in Vermilion Parish that even taught it. But my sisters taught that for years. UL definitely has that available, that particular class, African American history class available. And there are classes online, but our focus was to make sure that the students could get it in high school, or even before, you know, and make sure that it counted for them.
Yes. And you could call us at 337-366-8951. 337-366-8951. You know, time passed by so fast when you're actually having a good time, and you know, we're nowhere close to where we want to go with the show and continue to have the show, but people know how to get in touch with us in case they have someone in their family that they want us to highlight. And like I said, we're going to have a gala or a red carpet or black carpet like at the end of the year. You know, this is our first series of it. And look, ladies, y'all have done such a fantastic job.
Thank you,
I know we only have like 5 minutes left, so I'm going to give y'all each a minute to close and say what you have to say to your community.
Go ahead.
You want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay, she's giving me permission. Well, I would just say to each and every person that, you know, it's never too late to go to school. It's never too late to go further. Just start. Put one foot in front of the other, and connect yourself with people that are going to support you and help you through the process. Everybody's journey is different, and everybody's level of education is different, but you work with what you have and you make it work for your situation to the best of your ability.
Okay, Ms.
It's
Ruby?
never too late, because even if you didn't complete high school, you can always go back and learn. I passed the state test, 2 of them. So you can go and sometime open your own little business, because I've been doing the flowers for like 40 some more years plus. And if you want to learn, you can always come and meet me. It's free of charge.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Yes, indeed. And I'm sending a shout out to Miss Cheryl Duracell, who is also a history buff, who knows of people back then, you know, and stuff. And Cheryl, we're going to get you on this show, all right, Miss Ruby?
That's right. We got to get Cheryl.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And in closing, we want to say that, you know, be kind be kind to people. And if you can't be kind, try to go inside and pray, because a lot of times people will take you out of your element or out of your zone. And so we just want to thank everybody that participated. We want to thank Brother Shahid, Sister Marbug, Brother Jacob, Brother Jay. We want to thank all of y'all for helping us put this spectacular show together. And we have one more caller. You got to get with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Yes. Ladies, I know y'all are about to go off, so I just want to say to you all, and Kanisha, you know this is Coach, to the ladies that are with you, I want to ask y'all three. When it comes to culture, our culture in this country as it currently is, what do y'all have to say to us, our culture? Where are we right now? Thank you.
Well, you need to take the first.
Okay. I think that we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
We have a lot of work to do with our culture. First of all, like we talked about earlier, our generation needs to be informed, because they're the ones who are going to have to bring this beyond us. When we're gone, they have to have the flag and keep it going. And so just to make sure that they're informed, and that starts at home, and making sure that they have access to know what our culture is, what our traditions are, and then we can continue to make some improvement. But I would say overall in the United States, we have quite a way to go as far as African American culture, history, and tradition is concerned.
And I would like to say that dealing with our culture, I think we are broke monetarily. I'm trying to get in touch with Dolly Parton, because Bezos gave Dolly Parton so many millions of dollars to do what she want, when she want, and how she wants. So if we can have that same opportunity, can you imagine? Stop the killing, employing our people, you name it. That would be my gift, is trying to be entrepreneurs whenever we had the chance.
Yes.
And I agree with the two young ladies that's with me this afternoon, that we need, a lot of work.
Okay, so we have wrapped it up. The title was Unsung Phenomenal Women in Our Community. Unsung Phenomenal Women in Our Community. And as you can see, I'm trying to just keep my composure together. That was a promise I made, and I'm doing the best of it. Well, we want to thank everybody that participated. We also going to be doing another show in the future, and after this show, you could stay tuned. The comedian Marbuck and myself, we're going to go ahead and dive into some of the most asked questions and current events here in the world. And so we want to thank everybody, and we are out of here. Say, like, who they used to say that? Peace, soul.
Don King. Don King from Soul Train.
Don Cornelius. Don Cornelius.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a mess.
So, yes, indeed. Thank y'all so much. Really appreciate it.